This is gonna be part 3 to what if Deku was Wolverine. So let's get started. So it's been 2 weeks, and Deku, like, all he's done for the 2 weeks just meditate so he can control his anger problems easier, I guess. So he's a lot calmer. So it's the start of the sports festival. Aizawa would come in. He would say, It's today's the sports festival. Get dressed." So they leave. They get dressed. They onto the stadium thing. Then Deku would come up to, like, the stage because he got the highest in the entrance exam. So Deku would just walk up to the mic and say, "I'm gonna win," and walk away. People would just start saying, like, "Oh, boo!" Like, class 1A. It's just a show offs and stuff. Deku doesn't care. So on to the race. When Midnight would say go, Deku's off. Like, when Todoroki tried to do his ice attack thing, like when the ice tried to touch Deku was already off, and he created a shockwave, so he broke all the ice. So Deku's off. Todoroki is kind of mad because his ice attack didn't work. So Deku's in the lead. He would get to the robots. He would pull out his claws, and he would, like, rip the two legs off a 0-pointer robot, making it fall forward. And yeah, Deku would go to the canyon thing. He would jump to the pillars, and he would get to the mines. He would just run straight through them because he's fast. So Deku wins the race onto the cavalry battle. Deku's alone because nobody wants to team up with him because he looks intimidating, and he has the highest points, so nobody wants to team up with him. So when Midnight would say go, everyone just starts charging at Deku. Deku would just start dodging the attacks because he has super reflexes because he's Wolverine. So yeah, Deku would just keep dodging, and he would knock down other people. He wouldn't take their headband because he doesn't need them. So he would start knocking down other people, making their teams fall, to eliminate them. So Deku would keep his 10 million points, and he would win the cavalry battle. And onto the one-on-ones. Deku versus Shinso. Shinso would say, like, "Oh, you were born with an amazing quirk. I was born with a quirk that's villainous." People would say it was villainous and all that stuff. Deku wouldn't really care. So Midnight would say go. Deku would start charging at Shinso. Shinso would start charging too. So when their punches hit each other, it breaks Shinso's arm. It would break Shinso's arm and sending him back all the way to the wall, knocking him out. And Deku broke his arm really badly, like how Deku broke his arm during his fight with Todoroki in canon. So yeah, his arm is purple. So oof Shinso. So yeah, now Deku versus Todoroki. Todoroki they'd say, "I'm gonna beat you with my ice and only my ice," and Deku would say, "Okay, whatever." So the match starts. Todoroki would send an ice attack. Deku would just break it. And Todoroki would just send another ice attack, and Deku would break it too. So it would just come to that, like, Todoroki would just start using his ice, like, over and over, and Deku would just keep breaking it over and over. So eventually, Todoroki will start getting frostbite, and he'll start shivering. Deku would say, "You probably need your fire if you want to win." And Todoroki would say, "I don't want to use it. Like, that's his quirk. I don't want to use it." And Deku would say, like, once a parent passes down the quirk, it's no longer theirs, it's yours. And then Todoroki would start using fire. He would still use that big ice attack. Deku would just, like, break through it with his claws, and he would send the fire attack, and Deku would just take it. And when the fire clears, it shows Deku just walking without a shirt and just regenerating. Like, his flesh was, like, some of his flesh was out and, like, burned off, and he's just regenerating it. Todoroki would say like, you can regenerate, and Deku would say yeah. He would just punch Todoroki out of the ring, knocking him out. So Deku wins that one. On to Deku versus Bakugo. Bakugo would be angry because he always was the strongest in his class, and now he sees Deku like beating everyone with ease, and he wants to be like that. So he's just thinking like, I'm stronger than him, I'm gonna beat him really easily. So Midnight would say go. Baku would just start charging Deku with an explosion. Deku would charge at him. Sorry. Deku would charge at him too. Baku would try to throw an explosion. Deku would just it wouldn't hurt it wouldn't hurt him, so Deku would just go through the explosion, punching Bakugo, sending him flying, not out of the ring, but close to the edge. And this would go on and on for a while. Baku would get annoyed and say, I've had enough, time to end this. And he would start charging up Howitzer Impact. And when it hits, Deku just stands there like nothing. And when it hits, it does the same big explosion as in canon. And Bakugo's thinking, yes, I finally defeated him. I'm the strongest in the class. And then when the smoke clears, Bakugo sees Deku, like his upper half of his body is just gone. It's just a skeleton. And he's kind of like freaking out. He's like, oh, I actually killed him. And everyone in the audience is like saying like, you killed him, like, you murderer. And then Deku would start walking. He would start regenerating too, like really fast. Because he can't, Wolverine can. So then Baku would say like you're a monster. Like, I'm not. Deku would say, I'm not. And he would just punch, knocking Bakugo out. Like, just punching him in the face and knocking him out. Deku wins the sports festival. Okay, on to the the Stain arc. And so it's the next day. Aizawa would say like, oh, here are the internships you got. And Deku's at the top. And Deku would hear about Ito's brother being injured. So he would overhear Ito talking to himself, and he's saying that I'm gonna find the hero killer and I'm gonna take him down. Deku in his head, he's just thinking, wow, it's kind of stupid. So yeah, Deku doesn't really want to do an internship, so he doesn't, and he just asks Aizawa if he does he have to. And Aizawa says like, if you want, you don't have to take one. And Deku would say, I don't want to take one. And Aizawa would say, okay. So, and he would say like, what are you going to do then? Deku would just say, I'm just train. And he would say, alright. So he would train in Hosu because plot. And he wants to keep an eye on Ida because he heard him talk like, I'm gonna take down the hero killer, and the hero killer's like attacks is all in Hosu. So yeah. Eventually the attacks happen, like the Nomu, the fire, everything. Deku would like start taking down a couple of Nomus with his claws, like very easily, and then he would see Emmanuel. He doesn't know who Emmanuel is, but he would just assume it's Emmanuel because he's just screaming, Ida, where are you? And Deku would say, oh, he went to find the hero killer. He would start just running off. He would find Ida about to get kebabbed by Stain. Deku would charge in. Stain would dodge the attack, and Stain would think that Deku's an adult because he's tall and muscular. And he would say like, are you a hero? And Deku would say no. Then they would start fighting. Eventually, Deku would just knock Stain out, and he would take Stain, Ida, and Native out of the alley with the heroes. Ida goes to the hospital with his arm wound or whatever. And like a few days later, Ida comes back, and the class is saying like, that was really stupid of you, Ida. You're one of the most you're the one of the most smartest people in our class, and you would do something that dumb, he would start saying like, I'm sorry, I won't do it ever again. He would apologize to Deku for saving him. Would thank him, not apologize. Like, thank him for saving him. Deku wouldn't really care. So yeah, on to the teacher versus student test. I'm kind of rushing through this because I don't know why. Because there's not much to say because Deku's OP in this. Because he's Wolverine. So yeah. Deku would get paired up with Bakugo and All Might. Like, Bakugo and Deku versus All Might. And they would start. The match would start. Deku and Bakugo are walking. Bakugo's walking a little faster to get ahead of Deku. And he's kind of mad at what he did at the sports festival, even though he just knocked him out with one punch, because it kind of angered him, because he was just taken down by one hit. So he's kind of mad at Deku for that. So, and then All Might would send that huge air wave thing, I don't know what's called. He would just send that, and he would say, don't get me wrong, I'm a hero, but right now, I'm a villain. If you guys don't take me down, I'll take you down. And then they would start fighting. Deku would dodge All Might's attacks. Bakugo would get kneed in the face and sent flying into a building. And yeah, Deku would start fighting All Might, and he would punch. His punch would collide with their punches would collide with each other. It would kind of like semi-hurt Deku, but it would hurt All Might more because he's basically punching metal, like the hardest metal on Earth, because it's a what was it? Elementium, yeah. So it fractures his wrist, and All Might would say like, "Oh, that really hurt," and Deku would just like punch him right in the face, knocking him out. So Deku and Bakugo would pass. And now to the forest training camp. Yeah. So they're on the bus. Yeah, like they're on the bus and they stop. Wait, did I expel Mineta? I think I did. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah. So yeah, Mineta's not there, so he doesn't have to pee. So they get off, and Deku would recognize the forest as the Beast Forest, but he wouldn't say it out loud. And the Wild World of Pussycats would introduce themselves. Koda would be there, and and then Pixie Bob, I think that's her name, like just send them down the cliff, and they would like start fighting the monsters. Like Deku Garrett would beat them easily. Deku would like take him down so fast that he would like be ahead of everyone, and he would get there like don't say 3 hours before they do. So yeah. So Deku, like the Aizawa and the Wild World Pussycats would arrive, and Deku would be there already. And they would say, "Wow, he's pretty strong." And then 3 hours later, the rest of his class would come, and yeah. And people were kind of mad at Deku for just leaving them. Deku would say, "You don't have. I'm not always gonna be there for you guys. You guys are gonna have to be independent," and they would understand. Koda would kind of be intimidated by Deku because how tall he is and how muscular he is, and he looks like an adult. So he wouldn't walk up to him, but the person who gets punched in the balls would be eat up because he would try to have a talk with Koda, but he would just get punched in the balls. So, oof. So yeah, I'm gonna end it off here. I kind of did this quick because I have to do school stuff and I haven't done it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.